Good morning. It is Tuesday, January 20th, and I haven't really posted on here in a while. And to be honest, it's because I got an unfavorable decision on Friday, and it just has taken me a lot to kind of get over it. And so, for the first time under this administration, I got a bond denial on Friday. And while I think objectively, some people could understand or anticipate, myself included, that the bond could be denied, it's still a hard pill to swallow. And so I've shared a lot of wins with you all, but I wanted to share this loss. This is an individual who was detained. He entered without inspection, and we got habeas granted. So we sued in federal court. His habeas petition was granted. The federal court did say that he was entitled to a bond hearing. However, entitled to a bond hearing just means that the immigration judge has the ability or the jurisdiction to hear the case, which is the reason they've been denying a lot of bond cases. So we won that battle. Then it was time to present the bond, and this was an individual who did have a series of arrests and a couple convictions in his past. And the considerations for whether an individual should have be granted a bond is whether they are a danger to the community or a flight risk. And the judge denied bond on both grounds. He found that because of the past convictions, he was a danger to the community. I was disappointed. I argued that, it had been many years since he'd been convicted of any crime, that he had relief available. He wasn't a flight risk. The judge also found that he was a flight risk because one of the criminal convictions was an impersonation crime. Now, I don't know the facts regarding that. In fact, my client doesn't even remember it. It was so long ago. But the impersonation crime was enough for the judge to say, hey, he's impersonated someone, so I think he's a flight risk. He's not going to show up to court. Despite the fact that, I argued in his criminal cases, he's always shown up, and he never evaded the law in that context. And again, he has viable relief available. So, why wouldn't he show up to immigration court? Nonetheless, the judge didn't agree. And while we knew that this was a possible outcome, especially in this administration and in this climate, I was disappointed nonetheless. So that is my loss. It's been a hard pill for me to swallow. I feel terrible for my client. I feel terrible for his family. We've really done our best to advocate for him. I thought I did a good job on Friday, but I still didn't get the, result that we had, that we'd wanted. So again, I just wanted to share with that. That is the reason for my absence here. I've been a little unmotivated to make videos and, talk about the law when I have this, this loss under my belt that, for whatever reason, I really felt that I was going to somehow avoid, and that I was going to get him a bond. But yeah, so that is our case from Friday. Again, the habeas petition was granted, so we beat that part of the case. It was the actual underlying bond that we just couldn't overcome. I got to move forward, though. I've got other people coming up that I've got to advocate for, and I will say I have to remind myself that this has been my only straight bond denial so far, so we've had some pretty good success in the rest of our cases.